Hello friends, welcome back. This tutorial is really very important because we are going to start with one of the very important function in Excel, which is called as if function. So the case that we currently have for the 19 employees now, 19 employees, we have the annual salary, but we do not have the effect of tax paid. So when we talk about salaries, always a part of the salary goes to the government as taxes. As of now, we have not included or calculated taxes. Okay, so we are going to include tax for this case also, but before that, just let's get go to sheet number 2 and I'll explain to you what exactly we are going to do. Now the annual salary that we are having in sheet 1, this annual salary, this is the gross salary. So the net salary will be the take home salary, which will be after taxes. So after taxes, the salary will be your take home salary, and that is called as the net salary. To understand this, I am going to give you specific conditions. Let's take a person, and if his salary is between 0 to 50,000, then he does not have to pay any tax. The tax rate applicable to him is 0%, so he does not have to pay any tax. But if his salary is above 50,000, okay, so for the whatever the amount is above 50,000, on that amount only he will have to pay 25% tax. So let's say if his salary is 1 lakh, okay, so how much tax will he pay, or on what amount will he pay the tax? It will be whatever amount is above 50,000. So I'm including 1 lakh minus 50,000. So we'll pay this tax only on the amount of 50,000 and not on the entire 1 lakh rupees. Okay. So to explain this properly, let's take an example wherein there's a person whose salary is 80,000. So now on how much amount will be the tax applied? It will be again the same conditions, 0 to 50,000 no tax, and above 50,000 he will have to pay 25% tax. So in this case, if his salary is 80,000, on the remaining 30,000, once we deduct the 50,000, he will have to pay tax. So here I'll just include a formula for this. So the salary on which tax is applied is 80,000 minus 50,000. So on 30,000 he has to pay tax. So 0% tax rate or 25% tax rate for the initial 50,000, he does not have to pay anything. So I'll just skip it as 0. For 25% tax rate, it will be applied on 30,000. So I'll include equal to sign. 30,000, I'll select that and I'll multiply it by 25%. Since he has to pay the tax on the additional amount, so what I've done is I've taken 30,000 and I've multiplied it by 25,000. So 7,500 is his tax. So total tax will be equal to sum of this taxes. So again the total tax is this much only. So how much is his net salary? It will be equal to 80,000 minus the total tax that he is paying, minus 7,500. So his take home salary, okay, take home salary which is after taxes is 72500. So in our case also we are going to make use of the same conditions, that is if any employee's salary is between 0 to 50,000, then no tax rate is applicable, and if it is above 50,000, so 25% tax will be applied only to the value which is above 50,000. So let's come to our sheet 1. So since we now want to do some calculations with respect to taxes, we want to add some more columns. So there are two ways of adding columns. What you can do is, once you are on this column, select this, you right click and insert column. So this is column 1. Another approach is you just select it and press Ctrl and plus key. So Ctrl and plus key from your keyboard, you press that, automatically column will be added. Okay, I am going to name this column as tax paid. Next column will be my take home salary, which is my net salary. Okay, take home salary. Okay, I'll just increase the width a bit. since at the beginning of the tutorial I was just talking about how we are going to make use of if function. So if function, we are going to make use of this function when we are calculating the tax paid. So to start with the if function, let's first remember that our conditions: if the salary is above 50,000, then only for that additional amount we are going to pay tax. Okay, so I'm just going to include equal to sign. I'm going to type if. Now if function, you will have to give three types of values over here. First is the logical test or the condition that you want to test over here. You want to test if the person's salary is above 50,000 or not. Okay, so this is our logical test to test if the person's salary is above 50,000 or not. Value if true. Now what this is? Value if true means if the person's salary is above 50,000, what is the action that you want Excel to perform? So that particular action you will write over here. And value if false is what? If the salary is not above 50,000, what is the action that you want Excel to perform? Okay, I know it's a bit confusing, so let's try to apply our formula. You'll understand it. It's quite simple once you try to make use of different numbers over here. So our logical test, as I said, is to see if the salary is greater than 50,000 or not. So this is our salary, so I'll select this. If this is greater than 50,000, so you will include greater than sign. I just press shift and the greater than sign, which is near the shift key. If my salary is greater than 50,000, so 50,000. Okay, this is a logical test. If it's true, what I'll do is first include a comma. I will apply a specific tax rate. So how do I apply the tax rate? What you will do is you will take this cell. Okay, I'll first include a bracket over here. Select the cell G4 minus 50,000. As I'm telling you, only on the additional amount we are going to levy the taxes. So G4 minus 50,000, complete the bracket, into 100, into 25%. Sorry, our tax rate is 25%. So this is the condition that we have set for value if true. And if it is not true, that if the salary is not above 50,000, we are not going to include any tax rate. Simply you can include 0 and complete the bracket. Okay, I'll explain this text again, this formula again. What we have done is, I want to see if the salary of the person is greater than 50,000 or not. So G4 is greater than 50,000 or not. This is our first thing that we want to check. And if it is greater than 50,000, I subtract this number by 50,000 to get the additional amount, so that I can include 25% taxes on that. Okay, and if it is not greater than 50,000, there is no need of including any taxes, so that is why 0. Okay, so I'll just include enter. Let's delete this. Okay, so this is properly done. Okay, now what I will do is I will copy this formula. I'll paste it over here. Okay, so now let's see what Excel has done. If this salary is greater than 50,000, 1,10,400 is absolutely greater than 50,000. Yes. So what Excel has done is, above 50,000, whatever amount is there, it has included 25% tax on that. Okay, so that is why 15,100 tax was present. I'll just copy this formula again over here. Now in this case, 400 is the amount which is above 50,000. Since the person's salary is 50,400, 400 is the amount which is greater than 50,000, and 25% of 400 gives you 100. So our formula is properly working. Okay, now take home salary. Take home salary will be what? It will be your annual salary minus the tax paid. Okay, so I'm deleting this again. Since I was using this Excel, it is automatically getting filled, but do not worry, I'll show you all the steps one by one. I'll just copy this, I'll paste it over here. Okay, so now you're getting everything properly. I'll just paste it again over here. So take home salary, the formula is doing what? It is taking the annual salary and subtracting the tax paid. So now instead of doing this individually and copying it one by one, what I'll do is I'll select these two columns. Once I see this plus sign, I'll drag it till the end and make sure that everything is properly filled. So our if formula works properly for us. Wherever the salary is not above 50,000, the tax is 0. Can you see? Everywhere the tax is 0, and wherever only a number greater than 50,000 is there, on the incremental amount only it has included the tax. For example, on 87,600, so only on 37,600 this tax is included. So I hope that you've understood this function, if function, quite a useful function, and it can be used in various different ways.